I'm Jade Burns. Welcome to this afternoon in conversation with BBC Radio 1's Jaguar. Jaguar does all kinds of things I'm sure we're going to get around to. BBC Introducing, Future 1000 and Utopia. But first, let's get to know you, Jaguar. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, it's nice to be in Liverpool again. I love coming here and yeah, just happy to be alive today. So I'm good.
Good. So before we talk about everything that you do, how did you get into music? What are some of your early memories and influences?
Yeah, I think as a kid, like I always loved all sorts of music. I have an older brother, so I'd always this was like back in the days of like LimeWire and downloading music. So I'd always grab my iPod, be like, put all your music on here, and it'd be like Kanye, Chemical Brothers, The XX, all sorts really. I love noughties pop because noughties pop is the best. But then also for electronic music, I remember listening to a lot of Grimes and her album Visions was felt like that was a real entry point for me getting into electronic music. And also Azealia Banks. I've kind of rediscovered Azealia Banks recently because like late 2010s, wasn't it? She was working with a lot of UK producers, NJ Cole, and I just thought she was sick. And so always loved all music, and then was getting into electronic music. And then when I went to uni in Leeds, that's where I properly, I guess, discovered raving and club culture. I did student radio there, and just thought it'd be fun to try out doing a radio show. Never thought it would lead to Radio 1 or anything. I just thought it would be fun to do.
So you've got two passions really. You've got the radio hosting and the DJing, but the sort of, I guess, ties with the same tenor, the passion for music. Where do you think that passion came from?
I don't know. I think I'm just a passionate gal. I don't know. I've discovered I really just, when I get into something, I kind of throw myself at it 100%. I love talking to people. I love having deep conversations. My friends are sometimes like, God, I was at a festival the other day and we'd just woken up, unzipped our tents. And I was like, what do you think about, what was it? It was trans-dimensional travel. I was like, do you think we can? And it was 10 a.m. and they looked at me like, Jaguar, just tone it down. But I love to just think
just explore
deeply.
Things, and get to know people as well.
Yeah.
So we talked about radio, and the one that you're probably known best for is BBC Introducing. You started off on the local show. Which one was that?
So I started with Introducing in 2015 in Sheffield.
In Sheffield?
Yeah. There's this presenter called Christian Carlisle, and he's a character.
Yeah, if you don't know Christian, he wears a kilt.
Yes.
He's got a quiff.
He's great.
He's good.
So I got that job. Well, before that, the year before, I did an internship with Radio 1 and 1 Extra.
Oh, nice.
Which, again, I didn't know I wanted to work in radio. I just applied for it because I thought it'd be fun, and a lot of people, it's a yearly thing. A lot of people were like, maybe you should apply because it's a great opportunity. So I did that for 2 months, and this is when Fern Cotton was still there. So I remember seeing Fern Cotton coming out of the live lounge and being like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I worked on Annie Mac's show and just did all sorts, and that was the moment for me where I thought, okay, radio is a thing, I'd love to work here. And then went back to uni and sort of really invested in student radio. And then the year after was when I saw a job for BBC Introducing and applied for that, and just jumped straight in Sheffield and listened to loads of new music, got to interview artists, I just found my passion in promoting new music that way.
I think for us, because we obviously know BBC Introducing so well, you kind of get wrapped up and you forget that some people don't. So for anyone who's a bit curious about Introducing, how would you describe what it is?
Yeah, so is anyone in here a producer of dance music or any music? Okay, yes, woo to the producers. So, whatever genre you make, BBC Introducing is an amazing tool that you should all use if you are an up-and-coming artist. You can send your music, you upload it to the BBC Introducing website and put in information, who you are, what music you make, a little bit about you. I think you can upload 2 tracks a month. And then wherever you're based in the UK, your track will go to the area. So if you're from Liverpool, they'll go to Introducing a Merseyside show where Jade is based. And then there's 36 Introducing shows around the UK. So Northern Ireland, here, Leeds, Sheffield, London, Channel Islands, everywhere. And yeah, that's kind of how it works. And so with my show, which is on Radio 1, which is introducing dance, which is all about dance music, it's basically like, my job is to basically play all the best new dance music coming out of BBC Introducing. So I go through the electronic music inbox a few times a week, and we probably get about 500, 600 tracks a week. And
there's a lot to get through then.
There's a lot to get through, yeah.
On a local level though, if you're a grassroots musician of any genre really, but how important do you think that local support is from your local community and your network?
Yeah, it was so important. Like, I think wherever you're based, it's so important to make a network, make friends, make a community. You know, even if it's just like a few of your mates and you like to DJ back to back together, or you make tunes together, or you do radio together, or you just go to the pub and talk about music. Like, you support each other, and I feel like that's how you build the most like bulletproof scenes, because you start small, do it really well, get to know everyone, you all help, and then you can like just build and build and build. Yeah,
definitely. And you mentioned there like introducing the Merseyside and Radio 1. For anyone who's thinking, what's the link? How do you get from a local level to the next step?
What, in terms of your music being played?
Yeah, your music being played onto Radio 1 then.
Okay, so I suppose what a good way to do it is if you're getting paid in your local introducing show, like first of all, create a relationship with your local show. That's always really handy, like whether it's on Instagram or Jada's here, like go say hi to her afterwards, come say hi to me afterwards. That's always good. And like we talk quite a lot, and I have quite a lot of conversations with a lot of the introducing team across the board, and they send stuff over, and you can kind of forward stuff to Radio 1 or other stations, 1 Extra as well. And that's kind of how introducing works. It's such a great web of like getting your music played. You can play festivals as well. Like, what was it? Last weekend was Reading and Leeds, wasn't it? We had Meg Ward, who's a rising star in house music, and I think I first played her in introducing on Radio 1 in March 2020, and she was getting support in introducing in the Northeast. And in that time, like, she's created some amazing tracks, like, you see her name on so many lineups now, and then she got to play on the introducing stage, and all the videos look mad, like she killed it, and I'm really excited about her. So yeah, introducing is a very good platform.
And it's free?
And it's free.
Because there's so many, in the music industry, there's so many things you have to pay before you've even... Kaiser's just saying before, £200 for a mix. To get the support from BBC, it's free too, it's really helpful, isn't it? So you mentioned before about introducing in dance, so that hasn't always existed, has it? So tell us about your journey on introducing in dance. Yeah, so introducing has been around, I think, since 2007. If you type on YouTube, there's like, I think they went to Glastonbury in 2007, it's the Ting Tings, and then it's like Skepta and Jeremy, it's like this really, and then Florence and the Machine, it's this really random little stage, but that's how it started, and it was like, we're going to promote new music. Obviously that's very timely, because I don't think the Ting Tings are around anymore. No, but I tell you, was there Kof? Anyone know Kof? Local lad, he was there. Oh really? Yeah. There you go. Way back when. There you go. So it started like that, and then they built the uploader where you upload your music, and it was kind of, it was 10 years deep in 2017, and they were like, we kind of want to branch out in the genres, because it was very indie, it was very like 4-piece male indie bands, which obviously there are some great 4-piece male indie bands, but there's so many other genres out there, and dance music was one of them. And I kind of got involved with the central introducing team around then, and I was like, I'd love to help push electronic music. So we actually did a stage at Creamfields in 2017. And Prosper played, a little act called Prosper. Massive now. Yeah, and because I'd known Harvey from Prosper for a few years when I was in Leeds. And we basically did a competition, you had to send in a mix, and we were looking for DJs to come and play. So I was like, you have to do this, you have to send your mix, because this could be like a life-changing opportunity. And they got on the lineup, and that was their first ever gig at Creamfields. And then we did a showcase at ADE in Amsterdam a few months later, and they actually did like a live set of like guitars and synths and able to push stuff. And it kind of, I use them as an example because they
really are a great example of how introducing can change your career and like just give you that elevation. If you've got the drive and you've got the tunes, you know, if you just need the opportunity, and for them it was perfect. And a year later they released a track called Prayer, which Annie made Hottest record on Radio 1, and then loads of record labels wanted to sign them, and then they was, you know, and then they basically just gone like this, and it all started with introducing.
I think it is when you do have that backing from BBC, it's like, okay, well, they must be good if you played on Radio 1 and obviously your own show as well. So you mentioned Prosper and Meg Ward. Any more, you know, success stories?
Oh yeah. So, I mean, so after the Creamfield stuff, that was 2017, so then we realised that dance music was working with introducing, so then my job was sort of to go through, and I was sending a lot of tracks to Danny Howard and Annie Mac, and they started playing new artists, so it kind of all led to getting this show, Introducing Dance, which we launched in April 2020, so almost a year and a half ago now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, in that time, so many people, we were the first people to play Jodie Harsh, God, I'm just trying to think, Effie, Tisha's a big person we've supported, Jess Bays,
there's so many to go through.
Tabasco, a big introducing story. Basically, Blueprint, you're right here. This guy, actually this is a great story. So we met in Lost and Found Festival in 2018, I think. Okay, 2018. Sorry to embarrass you. And yeah, we met because I think we met like backstage. I think we both you're just like, I just blagged my way over backstage. I was like, yeah, that's it. Anyway, we got talking, and then I basically he sent me some music and loved it. I think I played a few tracks and I was out there, and then I was like, you need to upload to BBC Introducing, because basically told him what I've told all of you, how great it is. And he did that, and then yeah, you guys started playing him in Merseyside show, and then Danny Howard invited me onto his show, I think end of I can't remember. He invited me onto his show and he was like, pick a record. So I picked one of your tracks, Jack. I think it was A Rose Between Two Thorns?
Yeah.
Was it Context? Okay, either way, I picked one of his tunes and played it on Danny's show on a Friday night, and he loved it, and then he just kept playing the record, and then yeah, basically through those processes and through introducing, I know Blessed Madonna was playing you as well, like through that you kind of just gained a lot of momentum, and then suddenly you were like a regular on Radio 1, which must have been mad. Was it mad? It was mad.
It happened in about 3 or 4 months from you kind of sort of like introducing straight to everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Radio 1 DJs like Danny Howard, was Annie Mac, but the new Sarah Story, are just like us, just passionate, and if they see someone like Blueprint and they see that they're putting the work in and making good tunes, they will keep supporting you.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm always sending Danny tunes, and I will be sending Sarah tunes too, so it's all linked, but the whole point of introducing it's like that entry point. There's a place now, if you've made a track in your bedroom, or yeah, literally you could have made it that day, upload it, like as long as it's sick and like that's all it, as long as it's sick, really. I'm sure it will find its way to the radio.
Yeah, but now it was a half an hour slot on Sunday night. Now it's a bigger slot coming up next week. What about that?
Yeah, this is actually great timing. So the Radio 1 schedule is moving next week, and yeah, the show Introducing Dance is going to be on Thursdays 10 to 11 every week. I'm super excited. Like, we've got more time now, we're going to have some good guests, and basically loads of stuff in store. I can't say too much, but the first show is next week, and I'm so excited. And I'm still deciding what to play, so if you want to upload anything, please do, because I'll be putting it together in the next few days.
Yeah, get involved. So you mentioned earlier as well about how Introducing was traditionally supporting a lot of like male bands, or just males, just men in general. You're really passionate about the gender sort of balance, or the lack of gender. How do you feel like the future now is shaping up with all the work that we're doing to include all genders?
Yeah, I think with everything I try and do, like I want it to be as diverse and equal as possible, just because it makes sense, right? Like, why wouldn't you want to try and reflect the world and the people who are in it? And Yeah, I think in the time that I've been like doing this, which is I guess the last like 5-6 years, I suppose, I've seen a shift in terms of people making conscious efforts to, you know, not just book guys or, you know, think outside the box a bit more. Because if you think about it, if you have a lineup and you're going to book like a different type of people, like music's going to sound different in a good way.
Yeah.
Like the people who come to the club night are going to reflect the lineup. And I personally feel like the best nights is when it's a whole mishmash of, you know, people and sounds, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, definitely. It's no disrespect to all the lads that are sitting here, but it is just, you know, wanting to get more genders on, not just females, non-binary and transgender as well.
Yeah, and I think it's not just a conversation for women as well. Like, I think we are talking to all guys here, which is completely cool. But we can all do something. It's just like thinking about, okay, what can I do? I'm going to book this club night. Are there any women or non-binary? You know, and just look sideways and see, and just if we all try our best, I'm sure we can do something. And you know, some of the names I listed a lot of women producers who I've been supporting. And when I started the show, that was something I really wanted to try and make an effort to do, is like not like play as equal a balance as possible. You know, some weeks it's hard, but I try and make it 50-50 if I can. And we are getting a lot of women producers in.
We are, and earlier you spoke about seeing the likes of Faye Cotton and Annie Mac, women.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't be what you can't see, so we include more women, it gets more women uploading, or you know, anyone else
definitely
uploading to us. So you've also created the Future 1000s. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so this was a crazy lockdown idea. Me and my manager Owen, we were feeling very creative because we couldn't be DJing and, you know, had a lot of time. And actually I feel very grateful to have had the lockdown period. You know, it was obviously challenging at times, but I feel like it's made me a better person and redefined what I want to do in my career. And yeah, one of those things is to push forward equality. So we kind of thought, what can we do? And we created a initiative it's basically a free initiative for girls, trans and non-binary people aged between 12 and 18. So if you've got a younger sister or a cousin or a daughter, they can get involved. It's completely free. It's on our website, future1000.org, and we've done it with Future DJs, who are a new music education platform. They teach DJing in schools. You can now get a GCSE in DJing as well, thanks to them.
Oh, so, really? That's so
yeah, which is sick. Yeah. I would have loved to have done that. Imagine. So good. So we've teamed up with them to make this free course. It's a video course, and you can learn to DJ, you can learn to produce music, learn how to present radio, and just learn about what the industry is. And it's all online, and we do monthly live sessions. So last month we had Jada G come and show us how she made her tune, both of us, and she broke it down, and it was a Q&A. And all the students are there in the chat box and like typing away, asking questions. We've had Baklava come do a DJ workshop and, you know, show how she mixes and how she puts her sets together. And we've got some exciting stuff coming up. So if you know anyone here, guys, let them know, because we've had some amazing stuff come through it, and we want to get 1,000 people on board. And we're getting there, but I mean, if we get past 1,000, even better. But
and how do you get involved with that?
So you get involved. You can sign up on the website future1000.org, or just message me and I'll direct you where you need to go. But yeah, it's been a really lovely thing to do. And
then another lockdown project, I think it was Utopia.
Yes.
So what is Utopia?
Okay, so Utopia is, well, it started off as my club night, and we were meant to do the first one just as COVID hit, actually, which was really good timing. So yeah, it would have been April 2020, would have been the first party. And the whole concept of Utopia is it's a perfect moment. It's a night of friendly faces, colourful sounds. It's super fun, super inclusive. And yeah, it's just mates and family and people who want to have a good time, and you'll just probably either see all your mates there or make your new best friend there and discover some new music from up-and-coming artists that I reflect on the lineup. So we couldn't actually have the launch party, but then we waited, and then we had the socially distanced version in September last year, which was super fun, and then when was it? July, we managed to have the first proper party, which was beautiful. It was like in a sweaty club in South London, and it was great. We had Jacana people. In fact, one of the DJs, Susie, couldn't make it because of COVID, so we had Absolute and Lala do a back-to-back last minute, which was lovely.
Yeah, I love that. Sounds good.
And Baklava as well, myself. And yeah, it was great. So that's the club night. It's been, yeah.
And did you also branched out to Utopia Talks as well? What's all that about?
Yeah, so another crazy lockdown idea was to do a podcast. Because I don't do enough already.
No, you don't.
Do enough. And because I love talking and like having these conversations, and I thought like I have conversations like this all the time in my WhatsApp groups, my friends, you know, about dance music, about the world, about how we can change things. So the podcast is kind of stemming from that, and again, it's like all about trying to get to utopia. The podcast is called Utopia Talks, and we've covered a lot of stuff. We've just wrapped up series 1. We will be coming back for another series at some point. But you know, we've covered things from sobriety, where we had Fat Tony on talking about his story, and Harvey from Prosper, and Tamanti. We had an episode about vocalists in house music, and you know, because I've always found it mad how the producer gets a lot of the time all the credit, and we, you know, like as billed as the artist, sometimes the vocalist is anonymous completely.
Yeah.
Often they're women as well. So we had Becky Hill, Angie Brown, and Rowetta.
Yeah.
In that episode, that was really cool. Had an episode about sort of dance music's black roots, with Fabio from Fabio and Groove Rider, and Nix, who I think is at this conference today somewhere. And just some really cool stuff. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah.
It was a labour of love, and every episode is completely different. So if you listen, I'd love to know what you thought, because I'm really proud of it, and it just feeds into everything I'm trying to do with Utopia.
Yeah, it seems like it's sort of at Utopia now, but if you look back, what advice would you give your sort of your past self, just in terms of becoming a DJ and your radio host and everything that you do?
Okay. I think my advice would be to just believe in yourself and have confidence in yourself, because like, especially when you're starting out, it's so hard and it's so easy to get knocked down, and God, I still have days where I feel really like things are going terribly. But you just gotta pick yourself up, and like, if you believe in yourself, you know, that's the first most important thing.
Yeah.
And then other people will be like, okay, they're doing bits, they're so convinced they're gonna do it, like I'll jump on board. Like from the age of 21, I told everyone that I was gonna have a show on Radio 1. Like, not in like an arrogant way, I was just like, I'm gonna have this show, you know. I was ambitious, I was wide-eyed, and I really wanted to do it, and I actually have, and because I believed in myself.
Yeah.
And I'd also say, don't be afraid to reach out to people. You'd be surprised at people who want to help you, whether it's, you know, you want to get into radio, and you could message the producer or the presenter and be like, I'd love to find out more, or shadow the show. Or, you know, even another producer, if you're a fan of their work, like, and you want to chat with them, especially because we've been through COVID, like, people seem to be really open to chat to you, whether it's a voice note or a Zoom or in person now. Like, just don't be afraid to reach out, because you've got nothing to lose.
No, especially with BBC as well. People forget we are actually people
Yeah.
at the end of the email, so it is okay just to reach out and get in touch with us, isn't it? So Radio 1 coming up, any questions? You know, we've got a Radio 1 presenter.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. For introducing, to be honest, like, I wouldn't say they have to be mastered. Like, I've definitely played stuff. In fact, there's an artist called Emily Nash who I played for the first time on Radio 1. I think it was my first ever show, actually. She's just signed to Ministry of Sound, which is crazy. She's like 20, it's wild. I'm pretty sure her early stuff, I played a lot of stuff, not mastered at all. Like, as long as it's a great track, you know, maybe get mixed, or just to the level where you're 100% happy, like, couldn't add me more, that is the best track I can produce, put that up.
Yeah, I think definitely put your strongest track up as well.
Yeah.
Maybe don't wait and think, oh well, maybe I'll just put this one. just put your strongest one up.
Yeah.
Because
And sometimes less is more. What I find very overwhelming and stressful is when people will send like a folder of 20 tunes they've made, and that is great that you've made 20 tunes, but maybe just send your best two if you're sending an email or whatever. But yeah, I would just like always just go to the uploader. Like 2 tracks a month, I think is enough. And yeah,
I think so too. Any more?
anything at all.
Radio 1 presenter.
Yeah, so anyone can upload anything. Like the show. In fact, you can answer this one.
Okay, so introducing this for everyone. Obviously, the focus of today is introducing a dance with Jaguar, but we do play all types of music, from anything from jazz to bands, to grime, indie, all kinds really. It's
So in a dance, like, it's just based on a lot of different subgenres of it. So like, it can be because some stuff I mix like what's going on, so you listen to that and like, you know, like, does it matter or do you recommend or just send it?
Yeah, like my show. I play everything from garage to techno to jungle. We got this guy upload Makina, which was interesting. Part of me was like, is Makina, is that how you say it?
I think so.
Yeah, I was like, shall I? There's, disco, everything. From whether it's a disco edit to like a 140 techno tune to whatever. Like if it's good, and I like my show just to be completely. I don't have. No one tells me what it needs playing. So far, so good. So just go for it.
With a lot of radio shows as well, you are sort of tied to a genre. Like maybe you want to play a mainstream, but with introducing, we do have free reign to just play any eclectic mix. You could play a drum and bass song and then an indie band. Introducing us, we're allowed to do that basically. So yeah, it's definitely any genre and any subgenre of dance or any subgenre.
Or create a genre, maybe.
Yeah, no genre at all.
We're looking for the next big thing, so just make it up.
Any more questions about Radio 1 or about getting your songs onto there? Yeah. When does that start? When does that start, your Radio 1 show?
So it starts next Thursday, 10 to 11. The first show, we're going to have Meg Ward on, actually. Have a chat, and we're going to play out some of her Reading and Leeds set and just see what she's up to.
Definitely just that extra half an hour. How many more tracks are going to be able to get in? It's exciting, isn't it? Because it was just half an hour at the moment.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like the last year and a half, the show's been 30 minutes long on Sunday nights, which isn't very long. When you listen to 600 tracks and you're playing 8, it's been, So having an hour is beautiful. And
do you ever kind of like put tracks on the back burner as well? Like, do you have like a list and you think, I'll get back to them next week and then I'm playing the week after?
Yeah, what I normally do is like I go through like every week, just download anything that catches my ear, and then I'll just have like my monthly folder. So when I'm planning each show, I just go through again every week and
keeping in mind diversity and gender. And
there's been a lot to keep on top of, but I think I'm there now. We'll see.
Yeah, it sounds quite tough, but you do have that free reign to just pick your own one. That sounds interesting as well.
Yeah.
And you've still got that connection with Sarah Story. She's basically the new Annie Mac, and Danny Howard and Pete Tong. What about Pete Tong?
Yeah.
You've got the same link with them as well.
What's it again?
Have you got the same link with him?
Yeah, Pete's great. Like obviously he's like the godfather of radio, of dance radio, isn't he? And it's pretty mad that he's now like a colleague, and he's very wise. And and I think if you get a play on Pete Tong, it's just like something everyone should aim for, I think, because it's kind of like a milestone to get the Pete Tong stamp of approval. And I send him stuff as well all the time, so and he does listen and plays some of them, so that's good.
Yeah, it's just I don't know how you manage it all though. So the Future 1000s and the Utopia, where can we find out more for them?
So Utopia, we've got an Instagram account, I think it's Utopia_worldwide. But if you just find me, Jaguar Worldwide, you'll find it. But yeah, with Utopia, we want to do more events. I think it'll be next year now. We've got big plans to do like some Utopias around the UK, and bring that the podcast as well. And yeah, future1000.org for that as well.
And when you're booking guests for Utopia, will you keep an eye on introducing as well?
Oh, always. Like the whole thing of Utopia is I want it to be up and coming artists. I think the first one we had was me. It was Absolute. Who was it? Tisha, Helena Star, and Tabasco. So they're all up and coming artists, and yeah, it was just fun.
Yeah.
All my friends really. It's just a big party.
Any plans to bring it up north?
Yes, I think we do. I actually can't remember, but I'm going to put out like a tour poster with dates coming up because there's so much stuff happening. So if you go on my Instagram, you'll see some dates very soon.
Yeah. So any more information, just go to your Instagram.
Yes.
All right. And you're sticking around today if anyone wants to grab you for a chat?
Yeah, I'm around, and I think I'm doing something. I'm doing a panel at 4:30 as well on inclusivity with He, She, They. So it should be fun. But yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay.